Okay, I'm going to be talking about a lot of stuff, but it's going to depend on what you guys need to know, right? What your questions are, how they work. There's lots of documents about this new Gizmo system in lots of locations. I'm going to provide a summary for you guys so you can find the documents. And would you please delegate somebody? One of our teachers decided to print out my presentation. So we have copies of it up here. If one per team, thank you. And hopefully this will help. I hope to get it to you electronically as well, because it's 2024. We'd like to be able to do that. But we have that. So I'm going to be providing a summary. I like to do it all a Stack Overflow. Do you guys know what Stack Overflow is?
Yeah.
No.
Yes, just never used
Yes,
it before.
you do. Of course you do. Right? What's the latest game that you guys play now? What's the younger generation really into? Is there some game or something that everybody's into?
Is it Roblox?
Huh?
Roblox?
Is that big?
Mario 64.
Mario 60, old school.
Actually,
Okay. Well, you guys play games, right? And maybe you want to go look up, how do I get to the secret level? How do I solve this? How do I look at a hidden channel on Discord? And you go to this website, and they say, find hidden channels on Discord. That's the title. And you start to read it, and they say, Discord is an application that was built blah, 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 and it stands for this, and let me tell you what the internet is, and blah, 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 blah. So you get all the way to the bottom, and it says, look, coming soon new will be how to find secret channels. All right? Stack Overflow is not that. I need to know how to do this. Here's the answer, step 1, step 2, step 3. That is my job today. Otherwise, we'll be here for 8 hours. So I'm going to point to you where the documentation is. You can read the IBM reference manual. We are going to go through the steps that are needed to get this thing functional. We cool with that? That's the plan. Every now and then there'll be a cute little camera thingy if you want to take a picture of the slide, but we have the handouts now, so we can go from there. Go ahead, Chloe. We're going to talk about the National Registry because Devin just hasn't said enough about it. We're going to talk about where best documents are. We're going to go over what they call the gizmo. Everybody remembers the old brain? That's the new brain. We're going to talk about the joystick. We're going to do a little bit of a big discussion on software. And then for all the software weenies that are out here, we're going to talk about some of the programming oddities that are in there. For those of you that built software in the previous years, there's some stuff that's going to make you go, huh? We're going to try to solve that problem now before 2 weeks from now you're going, why won't my robot drive in a straight line? Okay? Go ahead. Best registry. Raise your hand if you're not on the registry. Be honest. Get on the registry. Okay? All the pointers, everything is on the registry. It makes your life easier, right? Way easier. It really does. Okay? So go there, get yourself registered. Sorry, thank you, you're good. You're good, keep me moving. The Best Registry website has a couple of files for you. I'm going to reference those files. Advanced Team Topics and the Team Experience. They are downloadable PDFs. Get them. Read them. As we go through today, I'm going to be referencing parts of them. There's another thing called the Gizmo Guide. It is a web-based document, which means you have to click on to go to the next pages, and it brings up a different page, which means you can't download the entire thing, and I scratch my head trying to figure this out. But that's good. There's another thing they have called Best EDU courses. These things are really kind of cool. All right, we'll discuss that next. Go to the registry website, you log in, you click on schools, pull down workflow, you look at your annual games, boom, 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 annual game files Q&A. Here it is. Best control system, Gizmo, here are your files. Advanced Team Topics, the Team Experience, and links to stuff. Okay? It's all there. It has the PDFs, it has the links, also has a link to something called the Gizmo Troubleshooting Guide. Okay? Get logged into the registry, get registered, get your students on the registry. All students require a parent. Is it 13 or 18?
The official stance of Best Robotics is no student should ever create their own account. Their parents should do that for them. That is the official standpoint of Best Robotics.
Right, so student, you're saying less than the age of 18? Okay, because I have less than 13-year-olds, and the internet is different for 13-year-olds. So, okay, students, do it. Get your parents to do it. Get on. All right, boom. The best courses, Best EDU. If you go to bestedu.bestrobotics.org, they have 2 or 3 different topics that are really, really good that talk about it, including this wonderful guy, I don't know who he is, who gives these great YouTube videos. And they're good. They're really good. I enjoyed it. But you have to log in to the National Registry to get that. You go there, you start a course, then it says you have to log in. If you successfully log in to the registry such that Best EDU accepts it, you'll get a color palette screen, as if you're trying to redesign something. That's a good thing. And then you press the back button twice and you get back to the course. It's kind of sort of weird just to remember, oh, what's this color palette screen? I must have done something right. But you have to connect the Best EDU to your registry login, and it works. Go ahead. In my most humble opinion, the best courses are these 5 right here. Gizmo getting started, the setup, learning about the IR sensor, which is, I don't know if we're using that this year, maybe we will. Arduino coding for all the C, C++ software people in the room. And where's my Python guy? Where did he go? No, the guy was talking to him earlier. I don't remember where he went, maybe he left. They also have some Python coding. I'll say this now, I'm gonna say it later. They also do microblocks coding. I'm looking at a bunch of high school kids. I got any junior high kids in the room?
In the room, no, but we're gonna have a couple on our team.
Are there any junior high specific teams?
Yeah.
Do you have a junior high team? Awesome, awesome, awesome. If microblocks works for you, I'm cool with that, right? But I would bug Mr. Art over there and I'd say, teach me how to do stuff in C. Whatever works.
So
Whatever works.
the old programs, Robot C and Easy C don't work.
Bye-bye, see you later. So long. Trust me, that look right there, it'll keep going. All
I have
right?
to write a whole new course to teach them because I can't be with them the whole
Or
time.
use this really nice course right here.
I hear you. This will help, but they're gonna need some help. All right, next. This is sort of what it looks
Sir,
like.
you have a question over here.
Yes, ma'am, I'm so sorry.
What's Python coding?
Python is a different programming language that you can use to drive your robot. Are you familiar with C? Okay, do C. All the cool kids do C or C++. Trust me, come to the dark side, we have cookies. Right? C is an older programming language. It was built in 1970, so a couple of guys could play a little video game on this Unix box they built, right? And it does everything. It's a challenging language because you can shoot yourself in the foot with it. Python is a little less dangerous, but I don't know, I could get on a soapbox about Python. However it works for your school, okay? But these are the different things, they have different lectures, they walk you through it. It's really kind of, it's well designed. You just gotta be able to get into it. Go ahead. All right, let's talk Gizmo, okay? I'm gonna steal your Gizmo, yeah. This is it. We're gonna talk about the guide, the firmware that has to be loaded on it, which I think is already done, yay for us. I'm gonna look at that. There's a forums where people talk about things. Then we're gonna talk about all the ports that aren't labeled, all the ports that are very, very important to learn and understand, lest the magic smoke gets released. Okay? And then we're gonna talk about more lights and more ports, okay? Okay, I already talked about the location for the Gizmo guide. Okay, go there, read it. I didn't know if we were going to have to assemble these. We don't have to. This makes me happy because this saves an hour of your life having to sit with me. Yes, yay, trust me. Okay, for those who are really excited to learn, we can read more here. And if you want to learn about the 2 Raspberry Pi Picos that are inside of this thing, you can find them here. There's a Raspberry Pi Pico WH here, and a Raspberry Pi Pico H here. Okay? One's a Wi-Fi, one's not. Go ahead. All right, we're gonna talk about this. This you may need to know. Okay? They make updates to the firmware that lives up here. If they have an update, you are going to have to install a new image onto this Pico. To install the new image, you need to know what version your board is. What version is this board? I don't know. It's imprinted right up here. So you can see you need to look at the board type. There's a cute little flame over there. Because I believe you want to make sure you put the right firmware on it. I don't think you'll burn out the board in this step, but you want to make sure you've got it. And you need to note something. This path, github.com/gizmo-platform. The Gizmo stuff is in the firmware directory. The driver station firmware is in the Gizmo directory. Raise your hand if that makes perfect sense. Nobody, oh, just put your hand down. Okay? This, I kid you not, guys, I spent a good 10 to 15 minutes saying, wait, where'd it go? Why is it gone? Where'd it go? Okay? Firmware directory has where you find the Gizmo releases. You need to know what version your board is. So you're going to have to take off these little screws. You need a T5 torque, I think it is, to do this. Did you bring one with you, Mr. Thomas? I think I've got a T5 in here.
Isn't this also the same size as the Vex Star Drive bits?
I have no
Star Drive?
idea, I don't have one of those.
It looks like it might be.
Here's a T5, let's see what happens. Don't worry, I'm a software guy. This brain will be perfectly fine. It is not a T5, I'm clueless. I swear to you that's what they said.
Yeah, that looks like the Star Drive that's on the new Vex kits.
Here it is. Folks, T8. T8. Okay? Oh, let me say something else here real quick. Back up to the beginning. If you get questions, if the gizmo's not working, if stuff's having a problem, ask her. Past couple of years, you can ask me or Mr. Hester. Let us know. I don't know the path you want to take. There can be a direct connect between you and me. Devin may want you to go through her first before she does this. Either way, I don't care, right?
As long as you find a way to get the information, you all have my information.
Right.
Every teacher has my information, so you can reach out to me. I
And then
get
she
you
can
the
connect with
answer,
us.
or I can connect you to Joey and Robert if needed.
Right, and we'll get on the phone with you, we'll Teams meeting you, we'll do whatever to help you get this thing going, all right? All right, the last thing I want you guys to do is spend 2 weeks trying to be able to drive your robot because the gizmo and the driver station aren't talking to each other. All right, you have a question?
Yeah, the firmware, are you saying that we should go check and make sure that we have the most up-to-date firmware immediately? Or
That is-
see if it works, and then if it doesn't, update the firmware?
That's a great question. One of the things I can't figure out is what version of firmware is loaded here. Okay, I'm assuming we could plug either a micro USB output onto this to see serial and hopefully they dump that out, or some other way to do that. I'm looking to the Uber Geek guy over here.
I tried the serial port last night and I didn't see any output from the serial port.
From the driver station. Yeah, yeah.
No, from Pico.
From the Pico, right. So, we're gonna go with this thing. We're gonna download the firmware, we're gonna see. If it's just not connecting, we'll either hit the forums, or we'll take this bad boy apart, and we'll go through these steps to download the latest UF2 board, right? We'll press and hold this little button. What little button? See the little hole right there? That little hole allows you to put a paper clip. Yeah, we're going old school, kids. Put a paper clip through the little hole. Yeah, it's CD players. Raise your hand if you know what a CD player is. Oh, you guys studied history. I love you to pieces. Little bitty hole. You're gonna press and hold it with a little paper clip, okay? And you'll be able to mount a drive to your computer.
There's
Please.
2 holes. One
There's
is really
only
tiny.
one- There's on the left one. The left.
So the
one.
really tiny one that doesn't look like it's
Here.
fully printed was a whole full hole. Okay.
Top
This,
left.
this one way
That
up
hole.
here,
This
that
is
teeny
right.
tiny.
We didn't. I may have skipped this. Listen here, real quick. Go to the next slide, real quick, Chloe. Let's see if I talk about it. Oh, I didn't back up. I'm an idiot. There are 2 chips on here. Okay. The one on the left is the system processor. That's where we put the firmware. The one on the right is the student processor. This is where you're going to put your software. Okay? I should have put this on the overview slide first. When you have to install new firmware, you are doing the one on the left. Okay? So you're going to press and hold the little button If I say mount an external drive, everybody know what File Explorer is? File Explorer, the thing with the folders on it,
Yeah.
the C drive. If I said the C drive, do you know what I'm talking about?
Yep.
Yes, it's the main drive you save on.
Right? If you have younger kids on your team, rookies, and they don't know C drive and they don't know File Explorer, teach them. They need to know this. The other thing you need to how to do is learn how to type. All right? That's my soapbox for the day. Thanks for coming to my TED Talk. Press and hold this button. While you plug it in, it will mount a brand new drive, just like you plug in a USB drive, and you copy the file over. Okay? That's how you do it. These are the quick steps. Boom, 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 boom. Stack Overflow. The document up there gives you a lot more information. But these are the plug it in, mount it, press the button, copy it over, wait for the blinking lights. Okay? All right. Let's look at this. This is going to be fun. This is your gizmo. Hopefully your eyes were drawn to the big red thing at the bottom with the flames next to it. Okay? Everybody is familiar with these cables that we have. The three little prong cables that have a white, a red, and a black wire in them. We all remember these from last year, right? On your old Cortex, you could only plug it in one way. Okay? There are no guides on here. The white must be to the inside. So, if you're plugging it in here, the white cable goes to the left. If you're plugging it in on the bottom, the white cable goes to the top. Does that make sense? I'm trying to see it. If I were smart, I would have brought a white cable. This is important. The astute observer will say, golly gee, there's three cables coming in from the motor. Why does the one of these ports have 4 holes in it? The answer is, I don't know. You write justify. Does everybody know what right justify means?
Yeah.
Yes.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
You slide it to the right. Okay? So these 4 ports down here, white goes to the inside, you plug it in on the right-hand side.
Leaving one hole empty on the left.
The left hole is empty. Okay?
So.
The white must be to the inside. If the white is not to the inside, you will run the risk of releasing the magic smoke. Do we know what the magic smoke is? It's fire, but every single one of these, look up magic smoke, Google it. Please.
Yeah.
Every one of these chips has like stuff on them. If you put too much power to them, they burn up and they don't catch on fire, but they start to smoke. Chips cannot run without the magic smoke. You've released it, so the chip can no longer run. All right? Raise your hand if you've released the magic smoke before.
So many times.
Raise your hand if you released the magic smoke at an intersection in downtown Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Oh, yeah.
I did so on the freeway around Dallas this
There you
summer.
go. You win too.
California.
Guys, you burn out this gizmo, you don't have a brain. You gotta get a new one. All right? So let's just be very, very aware of this slide.
Is it in sockets? Can you just replace the chip, or do you have to replace?
I don't know, I've not released the magic smoke. I've looked at the board, nothing jumps out to me that it is, and I don't know what would burn out. I've heard somebody say once that you burn out the line. And if you're burning out the line, yeah.
I would.
Yeah, okay? So, white to the inside, right justify the motor. Yes, sir? Sure. Well, get out your gizmo, yeah. So white to the inside, right justify, put it on the left. No, the right. That's okay.
You can walk around and show it.
Yeah, if you want, yeah. Are you with us? And that is theirs.
And that's my cord.
And your cord.
Yep, just keep track.
Chloe? Next slide, just okay. Next slide. Stop. We'll pop back. Okay.
Seems like can we just a sticker on this?
Seems like it should be easy to modify the 3D print and put slots so it only goes in.
You got it?
Speak not to me your logic.
You got it? Yeah? Right?
Well, I can definitely tell you.
See how it goes?
Like, some
So
tape
you got
over
it.
that slot that you're
And
not
open,
put anything in.
right? And the white's on the inside,
Everybody,
and you to the right, so you got an empty port left.
let's take a look at this here real
Right.
quick.
Yeah?
We tried putting some Scotch tape on here to label the version number of our board, because we have to take it apart to figure it out. Scotch tape. fell
This
off
is
in
just a
like
wire to show you,
20
to
seconds.
demonstrate it's on.
My wife is an expert in hardware and stuff. She's working on trying to figure out some stickers that can do this. I don't have an answer.
I think
We
vinyl wrap,
will, okay, vinyl wrap?
I think we'll stick on this, and we have a vinyl printer, we could make a template and send it out to everybody.
Whatever,
So,
whatever you can do.
we'll work
I
on
don't
it
know
this
the
week.
rules, because sometimes there's rules about what you can put on your robot. I plan on labeling by gizmo.
we
And if
label
the
it?
judges,
Okay.
okay, okay, good, because I'm gonna say no, because the last thing I want is a 10-year-old to put something because they thought was in the wrong spot, and then we have issues, right? Or they can hurt themselves because the chip gets, because the board gets hot, right? This is the stuff that we figured out. I'm gonna start on the right side, okay? Your motors are here. Notice one's at the bottom and goes up. There's two banks. Just like on the old Cortex, you were told to take your large motors and your small motors and separate them on different halves of the board. Use ports 2 and 9, 3 and 8. This should sound familiar for the veterans. If you took all of your 4 motors and put them on ports 2, 3, 4, and 5, you would possibly overload the electronics of the Cortex because this was separated into 2 separate banks. Does this sound familiar?
Yes, very much.
Same thing is happening here. They put a little gap here. Put a large and a small, a large and a small. Okay, it'll stop you from overloading stuff. Does that make sense? Okay. Your servos are here. You have 4 servo banks, just like you had before. Your analog ports are up there, your potentiometers. Did anybody use a potentiometer ever?
Yes.
Did you? That's awesome. You're awesome.
We didn't do it successfully, though.
Okay, well, let me rephrase the question.
But you tried.
Did anybody get the potentiometer to work successfully? Right?
At home, yes.
Digital ports are down here. One is on the left. Okay? Boom, 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 boom. You have 2 serial ports here for anybody that wants to do UART communications. We don't. You had to do a little when in made to order with Squeaky, but not too worried about that. Coming back to this guy, Neo. Who knows what a NeoPixel is? Adafruit.
New,
Sound familiar?
new.
Neo means new, but.
Neo means new. Very good. But have you heard of NeoPixel or Adafruit?
I've heard of it.
Adafruit. Cool little lights that don't take up that much power. This is important for them. If you've got your robot sitting so pretty that you want to plug lights into it, go for it.
Yay.
Okay? It can be cool. I don't know if there are any rules specifying what the lights can do.
Only decorative, I think.
Technically, only non-functional decorations.
Right. So my counter argument to that is, how can a light be functional? It's not going to move my robot, so any lights I have should be good. Her counter argument to that is,
It's giving you information.
is it allowed to give me information?
As the rules stand right now, no, I think that's going to change. but-
Okay. It's an interesting argument that has gone on over the years, right? What can your robot do to give information back to the driver? I think it's a useful thing because there should be this interface, but the rules say differently, right? So don't listen to me, read the rules, right? Don't be doing stuff you're not supposed to do. But yeah, in other tournaments, FRC, VAX, lights are cool, and lights can also give feedback, but if feedback is not allowed, don't use the lights for feedback. All right. This side, all the blinky lights. Is the brain back?
Yeah.
Where'd the brain go? Awesome. 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 Isn't it pretty? All the little lights. Something you gotta be careful with is this bottom light right here may bleed into this light. So you may think this light is on, but it's not, okay? So it's just something to keep in the back of your brain if things aren't working right. The top 7 lights are lights that tell you how good the board is working, communicating to all of its different ports. The board, the Pico, whatever the GPIO is, who cares? The motor A port, the motor B port, the server port, the Neo port. If all those lights come on, you haven't fried your board yet. So, yay, okay? The network, field, and battery ports are what we are going to be using to help bind everything together, which we'll talk about in a bit, okay? So these lights are important, they tell you what's going on. The lights have changed order, so don't worry about the color of the light. You'll notice on this board right here, we have orange and white and purple. Oh, those are great, they're off the spectrum, they're separate. And then they put green and emerald next to each other. Okay, I am male, right? I know of 8 colors in the world and that's it, all right? So green and emerald are right next to each other. The light's on, yay, things are working, okay? In some of the later versions of the board, I believe they took the emerald one and they moved it to the bottom, over here, right? So you can tell the difference, okay? But from our perspective, I believe, is the light on? Then we're good, okay? All right, back me up 2 slides, please, Chloe. We talked about that, adafruit.com for programmable lights. Magic smoke. Okay, next one, please. Sorry, what?
I wanna take a picture of the cycle.
Okay, yeah, go back one real quick, that's fine, take a picture. Okay, that's cool. If I need to slow down or if you've got questions, please interrupt, okay? All right. Understanding the lights. There's a best EDU course. Walks you through the lights, it's kind of cool. That one document I talked about, the team experience, it talks about it as well. Bottom line, here's your table. Okay, bottom line. Right now, these 2 lights are blinking red. They have not been bound, okay? When we get to the point, and my goal is to get everybody's driver stations attached to their gizmos today, these lights should change colors. We should see the, what does it come to? I believe it's like, I think it cuts a green light up top. The middle light won't be on because we're not attached to the field. And the bottom light should be a green or a yellow. That says you got a good battery, okay? Does that make sense? This is a chart I pulled from the document. It should describe all of the pieces that we're looking for, okay? When you turn on your gizmo, it may start flashing purple. That says it's a brand new board. I've never been bound to any driver station at all. Okay? Excuse me. Are we good? Questions, answers, comments? All right, next slide, please, Chloe. All right. White to the inside, right justify the motor port. Right. Next slide, please. All right. Did everybody get their cables back? Good. In the beginning, there was the joystick. And the joystick had a joystick. And so that word was overused. So this became the joystick controller. And this is the joystick. And you talk to it with this cute little Wi-Fi. Everybody remembers this. And it was great, and it was wonderful, and it was simple. And this is what you took with you. All right? Gone. We now have what is called the joystick bundle. This is what they called it. Okay? When someone talks about the joystick, and you go to a tournament, and they tell you to bring the joystick with to the field, that means you are taking all three of these things with you. You are taking the joystick controller. You are taking your driver station. Okay? Which should already be assembled for you. Alright, which we've done. And you are taking this battery. Anybody that did the light stuff last year should have a battery. You should have a battery in your pack right now. Mine are black. You guys got this cool little
Purple.
turquoise. You're purple. What color is? Again, I'm male, right?
Turquoise.
What? This is turquoise? No, it's not. It's
That's like,
Seafoam.
that's like aqua.
cornflower blue. What's the
Aqua.
color of your shirt, man? You came with it, right?
I like the seafoam.
Cornflower blue's more like blue jeans.
Seafoam.
All right.
It's a Chevy, 1957 Seafoam Chevy green.
Stop.
We got lavender.
You've got lavender.
It's
all right?
been purple.
Okay,
It's
so
lavender.
this guy needs power, right? You should have with you in your kit a USB-A to USB micro cable. Does everybody know what a USA micro is? It's the small trapezoidal looking thing.
It's the one that goes to Bluetooth speakers.
It can go into a variety of things.
Well,
Depends
Bluetooth
if
speakers
you
are
have
already
something old or something new. USB micro. Are they all blue? All right.
I know, it's like
It should look like this. Listen up, listen up. This is important. Okay? Some of you are young, so you've seen the USB-C or the Thunderbolts. This and the lightning cables. Doesn't matter which way you plug them in, it still works. This does matter. The smaller end has to be down. If you go to plug this in and it's not working, don't force it. You'll break it. So take a look, see where the smaller end is, it's pointed down, look at the cable, plug it in. Got it? And I'm not saying this because I have some students that have broken things before, but I have this friend, and he had some students, and they did it. Same thing on the Picos. All right? Plug in the cable with it down. All right? We're going to talk about the driver station, the joystick. Battery won't spend too much time. Then we're going to have a blast doing the firmware. Okay?